explaining the nose ring theory. As a guy who has dated a girl for a short while with a nose ring, I've got some opinions as well. Let's check out this girl's video.
Hey again, guys. I've got a fun one for you today that I think you're gonna find interesting. Nose ring theory. And I just know that when I say that, half of you are going to be confused and the other half of you somehow know exactly what I'm talking about, even if you've never heard of it before. I will explain everything I've learned about this theory, show you some examples, and then give you my 2 cents on this whole thing. So to take you on the journey that I went down to get here, I'll show you the video that I first saw that introduced me to this whole thing.
So I'm 24 years old and I've been trying my hand at dating men specifically for probably about 5-6 years now, in a serious way. I'm single at the moment. My boyfriend and I just broke up recently, and I have probably dated about—
Okay, I gotta speak. Usually, I don't mind people with nose rings. Well, I dated a girl with a nose ring, as I said. And it's not really the nose ring itself. It sometimes can be, but it's mostly the big picture, right? Like, you can see her teeth. You can see all the piercings everywhere. It just kind of gives you off a type of personality you can expect from a person. And I know, don't judge a book by its cover, so maybe I'm wrong.
about like 4 to 5 men, seriously. Keep running into the same issues every single time I date a man, and I've been trying to like really get to the root of what it is. And now I know what you're thinking. You probably have a type. I do not have a type. These men don't know each other. They're not friends. They're not from the same area. They don't look alike. I really do not have a type. The only thing that these men have in common is that they are men. I really have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out what like the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended. One of the main issues that I've come to recognize is that I don't think men are really socialized to know what it means to truly love someone, like love their partner and care for their partner. Obviously, I'm not saying this is all men, but I think it's just not normalized for them to like, I don't know, just like, I guess I don't know how to phrase it. What I'm saying, for example, is that every single one of these men individually has looked me in my eyes and told me that I am the love of their life.
Listen, if so far you've only found emotionally unavailable men that, you know, haven't found love yet, well, it's fine. Just let them mature, let them grow up. It's fine. It happens. They have to mature, and if they never mature and are never emotionally available and can never just fall in love, then just let them be alone. If that's the problem she's speaking about, if it's a fixable problem by itself.
I'm the most important person in their life, that they would take a bullet for me, and every single one of them has treated me horribly, okay? I don't know about you, but when I tell somebody they're the love of my life and that they're the person I care about the most, I show it. I'm treating them accordingly. Part of it that really trips me up is that they believe it. They actually believe in their heart that I'm the love of their life and I'm the person they care about the most. I start calling it out. I would be like, you do not love me and you do not care about me. Like, point blank, period. Otherwise, you wouldn't be treating me badly. And they will argue and they get genuinely like offended. They get offended. I honestly pity them because I don't think they're socialized to know what that means. And like, I don't know how to get it across in a meaningful way to them. Like, they just don't listen. And I'll be like, okay, you wouldn't have done this bad thing to me if you actually loved me in the way that you say you do. Like, that is not what love is. That's not what love is. When you love someone, you don't do things to intentionally or even unintentionally hurt them. Why is that considered love to you? I'm just like, I don't know where it's coming from. I honestly pity them because that has to be awful, but like, I can't handle it anymore.
Okay, we get it.
So in this video, this girl is describing her troubles with finding a good man. She insists that she doesn't have a type, that none of these men really have anything in common, but for some reason, in the end, they always end up treating her horribly. And this led many of the comments to speculate that it must be something about her that is the common denominator. And unfortunately, since it's such a short TikTok video and we don't really get much insight onto greater parts of her personality, and she's not very open about what her most major flaws are to figure out why she's attracting such mean men or why.
And here's another problem. You always find TikToks of women or men, but most of the time women, talking crazy shit of their horrible experiences of, might be something dark or might be something like this. Again, we don't know her situation, might be dark, hopefully not, but you won't see women going online on TikTok, on YouTube, any platform, saying it was my fault, I did this, I did that. Why? Because it's not drama worthy. It doesn't make people, rage inside, so it doesn't go viral. So you always find these kinds of TikToks, these kinds of videos of just women saying, no, I'm never the problem, all of them are the problem, every single one of them, and it's making every single woman, every single person, male or female, watch her video and think, yeah, you know what? Men are horrible. Why did I come to that conclusion? Well, because I saw tons of TikToks like this girl saying the exact same thing. It's just the algorithm messing with your head. That's it.
Why her relationships are always driven to turmoil, people began to theorize, because it's one of the most noticeable things about her, that it could potentially have to do with the amount of piercings she has. In fact, these two comments right next to each other say, the piercing theory is so true, with over 700 likes. And again, don't know, don't care, nose ring theory,
God
with
damn.
over 1,200 likes.
These guys
So
don't
you
give
might
a
be
shit.
wondering, like I did, what about having a bunch of metal in your face would cause someone to treat you poorly? I mean, sure, the style isn't everyone's type, but these men were clearly attracted enough to her to date her, so then what is it that's causing the relationships to not go well? So I decided to look into what these men were referencing when they talked about the piercing theory, or the nose ring theory. And this was the top video I found.
Have y'all ever heard of the septum piercing theory? If you have a septum piercing, you may not want to look it up, but I'm always the last person to hear about shit. So, this is common knowledge.
You can remove it.
Dead ass. It's actually
Right?
dead ass. Because it says that every person that has a septum piercing makes their trauma their entire personality.
And she agrees?
She agrees
It's
with?
dead ass.
Like I said, dead ass.
Damn, straight from the horse's mouth. Or maybe I should say straight from the bull's mouth. You know, because you get it.
Nice.
You get it. And if even
Nice.
the person with the nose ring is saying it's true, I mean, there's gotta be something there. And this is just...
So here's my experience. Well, luckily I'm not one of those crazy people that mistreated her just because she had nose piercing. She was actually a gym girl, and I know gym girls with nose piercings. I'm not gonna get into it, but yeah, she was a gym girl. I found her from the gym, and we just did some short-term stuff for fun. It was just 4 months. We didn't really go that deep when it comes to like emotional stuff. I wasn't looking for anything long-term. She wasn't looking for anything long-term. And did she like spew a lot of just basically cried a lot when it came to a lot of her bad experiences with different stuff in life? Just basically, trauma dumping. Hell yeah, she did. She did. But I don't want to label everybody like this, but I've only got one experience with one girl with a nose ring. So maybe I'm not the best person to talk about this.
Even more hilarious when we take that theory and then reference back to the first video where the girl was making her relationship trauma her entire personality. Okay, that might have been a little reductive. After all, it was just one video. Surely her entire profile isn't like that.
Let's see it.
Told me how cool it is to have a dad. Like, this is a secret that's
God
been
damn,
kept
those
from
teeth.
me. Okay, I grew up with 3 moms. My mommy issues are off the charts.
Okay, sure. I mean, so maybe she doesn't have a dad and has a ton of self-proclaimed mommy issues, but that doesn't mean trauma's her entire personality.
It means a
I
lot
have
of bad
psoriasis.
future with bad men.
Not like a little psoriasis, like all over my entire body. When I tell you, my whole body looks like this.
Okay, so she has a bit of medical trauma too, but I mean, there's more to her.
Nothing normal can ever happen to me. I think I attract chaos.
Okay, so attracting chaos, it might be a little red flag, but I
classic.
mean, there's gotta be something normal here.
Not to be a man-hater or anything.
Oh no,
Actually,
she's a
fully
man
to be
hater.
man-hater. Fully to be a man-hater.
Oh, okay, I guess she also just doesn't like men. I mean, you could have brought that up when you were
I was
theorizing
expecting
on
all
why
of
your
this.
relationships with men might be going poorly. I'm starting to connect the dots.
Yep.
Now, when I first started looking into nose ring theory, I didn't think that I would take it seriously at all. I thought it would just be a good laugh. But the more I looked into it, the more I think that it might actually hold some weight, because I did find quite a number of studies that have strong correlations between individuals.
They're secretly an alien race who came here, wanna keep that tradition of nose rings, and they somehow transform into humans and try to traumatize us by basically explaining all their trauma from their world war, from their planet. That's what they are.
With a lot of piercings and tattoos, and how they are perceived and who they attract.
I was joking,
This
by the
study
way.
seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos scored significantly higher than those without for sensation-seeking and risk-taking behaviors.
Okay.
This other study that I found seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos, specifically women, scored significantly higher for extroversion and assertiveness, meaning they are more aggressive socially. This study that I found in Psychology Today examines how people with tattoos and piercings are perceived, and the most popular finding was that they are perceived to be more sexually promiscuous, and that they tend to attract people who are looking for more casual relationships than serious ones. And many other studies seem to point to people with piercings and tattoos having higher correlations with impulsivity and more experience with trauma and adversity. This study from BMC Psychology seemed to find a strong correlation between body modifications and people who experienced childhood abuse and neglect. And this one really stood out to me. This one found a notable prevalence of individuals with a high number of body modifications and borderline personality disorder.
God damn.
Now, this is not to say that individuals with piercings and tattoos are all degenerate problems.
Guys, I'm planning to get tattooed, okay? I want to get eventually my whole arm tattooed, maybe my chest and some parts of my back, but I especially want to get my whole arm tattooed, and I really haven't had that kind of a traumatic life. I mean, it's shit because of, you know, the place that I come from, you know, Eastern Europe, but I just had a normal life. That's it. Maybe this is more when it comes to girls, because, well, there's much less girls that are, you know, tatted in specific ways and, well, pierced in specific ways in specific areas. Especially when you see those dragon teeth and when you see those, nose rings. Again, I don't mind them. It's just the discrimination that I'm feeling right now towards these people. Plus, this video also doesn't help, okay? And maybe my experiment isn't enough, and maybe I should just try more girls with nose rings. I'm not gonna do that, okay? If I find someone that I like, then yeah, maybe, sure. But hopefully not. Or maybe I'll just get myself a nose ring and we'll see the kind of girls that I attract, which will be probably none, because right now I don't see any girl being attracted to me.
Children undeserving of love. I myself have a belly button piercing and an entire side piece, and I find myself to be pretty well adjusted and have had a lot of success in my relationships. But it does beg the question. Could there be any legitimacy to the nose ring theory, or is it mostly just something that jerks shout at people they disagree with online when they happen to have a nose ring? My ultimate conclusion? Probably both. Obviously, even with all of these studies and research papers, you're never going to be able to make a correct, sweeping blanket generalization about every one kind of person who looks a certain way. In the case of the first video we watched, where the girl is describing her issues with relationships with men, we know that people...
I'm gonna start trauma dumping on this video, okay? Just by watching this video, this gave me trauma, okay? I'm sorry, but you can't look at that face and think, you know what, that's a face of a normal human being that, you know, hasn't gone through anything effed up in life. So, yeah, it is pretty sad, and, well, it's not really surprising to hear that, you know, she didn't have a father figure, she had 3 moms, and all the other stuff that she mentioned. So, yeah, again, I'm not saying that her trauma isn't valid, but it's not helping this video, right?
Did at least initially find her very attractive, as she even cites at the end of the video that I cut off that both men and women have described completely falling in love with her. And when I first listened to her story, I wasn't even making any judgments about her physical appearance. I was truly waiting for the other shoe to drop of when she was going to describe some consistent patterns of behavior that might lead to all of this correlation. In her case, I definitely think that being a vocal man-hater was probably the linchpin in the disruption in her relationships with
That's
men, but certainly
one of
not
the
all
things.
women with piercings and tattoos feel that way. In fact, here are some examples of super pierced and tattooed girls in
Oh
very
no.
happy relationships with
Oh
men.
no. Of course, the black cat.
What is this?
Well, girl, you're just showing TikToks of them acting lovey-dovey happy. Listen, we don't know if they're actually in a happily amazing relationship, loving amazing relationship, or it's an abusive, horrible, traumatizing relationship. I shouldn't be laughing at this. But just through these TikToks or IG Reels or whatever the fuck they are, this doesn't prove anything. And I'm not saying that there's no women and men with crazy nose and face piercings that are not in happy relationships. I know that there are. I've probably met a few of them. I'm not close friends with any of those kinds of people because there's just not that many people like that in the place that I live in. But yeah, these TikToks don't prove anything.
What is this, please?
Also, it's so funny how they always go for the nerdy gamer guys. But this is what makes the nose ring theory so complex, because if the first video were to be enough to prove that it's accurate, then all of these other videos should be enough to disprove it, right? At the end of the day, the nose ring theory is just that, a theory, an idea worth discussing. Is it true that people with a lot of tattoos and piercings tend to be a bit more rebellious, chaotic, and traumatized? Yeah, probably, but
Just
does
like
it make
those
them
kinds of gamers,
inherently
right?
undateable?
Not all
No.
of them.
Some of them are. Some of them are absolutely undateable, but not all of them. As with most things, it's a case-by-case scenario, and it's always more important to pay attention to how a person behaves or what they believe in than it is to try and find secret clues in how they look or dress. Anyway, that has been my
Agreed.
analysis on nose ring theory. If you liked my coverage, please drop a like on the video, consider subscribing.
Yeah, guys,
We
subscribe. What are you
so
doing?
close
You're
to
watching
the
my
big
video and you're not subscribing?
500,000, the big 500,000 subscribers, and drop
And I
any
want the
comments
big
that you have
1,000
on the subject
subscribers.
down below, because that also helps boost me in the algorithm. And
Okay, some of the stuff that she mentioned with gamers, here's my theory, which is most likely probably not a theory, and you can probably look it up and fact check it, but I'm just too lazy to fact check it, and it's just my life experience. You know why these kinds of women, most of the time, like she said, end up with those nerdy kinds of looking gamer guys? It's because of the edginess. It's because of the dark, effed up humor, and I don't blame them. Also, I have dark, effed up humor, but I don't look like a edgy gamer boy, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I really don't give a fuck. But that makes total sense in my brain. Like, if girls look this way, like the women she showed us, yeah, then yeah, there's most likely personality traits that are, you know, that correlate with personality traits of a nerdy, unhinged, probably sometimes ragey and crazy gamer guy. And it makes total sense. And you know what else is interesting? You're not seeing a lot of, you know, 50, 40-year-olds doing all this stuff. And yeah, we get it. Maybe it's maybe it's just a young person trend, or maybe it's just a generational trend and it'll grow with us till we are 50 and everybody's gonna do it. But hey, if you wanna do it, do it. But me personally, a piercing or two, and depends on what area, maybe on the nose ring, but a small nose ring, it's fine. The ears, it's fine. But like the shit where their whole faces looked like they were like demons, like they were straight up from the fucking Terminator. Like, I'm not scared of AI destroying this planet, I'm scared for these women destroying me and every single man out there. Maybe I'm going too far, but hey, if you want to date these kinds of yeah, big ups to you. So here's a nice example. You know how a lot of men show off by just driving like crazy? It can be motorcycles. It can be cars. Or do you know how a lot of men can just show off their money and just stupid shit and say stupid shit online about society and whatever? Yeah, they're probably hiding something they're insecure about, and they're trying to like get some attention seekers, because I don't know, they're probably traumatized or insecure about something in their life, and they're like dumping their insecurities by being toxic, then maybe it's the same for all these women destroying their faces with all these piercings. Or destroying their whole bodies with all these tattoos. That's about it. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Subscribe and like the video. And there's also an article link in the description where you can submit a video, a topic, or an article if you want me to make a video about it. It's in the description. Have a nice day and be careful.